on Sky Sports. 6 frames of snooker, all up against that 25-second shot clock. Referee Paul Collier, and now time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, from Lanarkshire, Scotland, he is the reigning champion of the world, the Wizard, John Higgins!
Well, John, world champion, back in the Premier League, Celtic in the Champions League proper. Life's pretty good for you right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite good, yeah.
Tell us about that world final, because it didn't look like being a classic, and then it turned into an epic one, you know, when it got back to 14-13. What memories do you have now of that night?
I suppose when it was 14-13, I was thinking the worst. I was thinking, if I lose this match, I'm never going to leave my house again. But no, Mark done well. He came back, and it turned out to be a great final. I know it went on maybe a little bit too late, but no, it was still a good final. What
does it mean to be a twice world champion now? Because you've joined an elite club, haven't you? Yeah,
obviously it's great to win any tournament, but to win it again, it was too long a wait, I suppose. It was 9 or 10 years since I first won it, and I thought it was too long, so it was great to actually win it again.
I can't believe it's 4 years since you played in this.
Yeah, I know, Barry Hearn must not like me.
Not true, not true. What differences is it going to be with the shot clock? You've got 25 seconds. Have you been practising with your timing of your shots? You're not a slow player.
No, I hope it won't make a difference. Obviously, all the people that have played in the event says it takes a little while getting used to, but no, I look forward to it. Definitely.
Full houses everywhere we go. Nice playing in front of a big audience.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it on TV all the time, and the crowds are always fantastic, and they're the same here again.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Higgins. And John Higgins up against the man who's bidding for his 7th Premier League title.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to meet the reigning and defending Premier League champion from Essex, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan!
Ronnie, the way you bounded down those steps, you look like you're up for this.
Well, it's good to play in front of a packed crowd, and obviously playing John, who's won the World Championships last year. You can't get up for this, then you might as well not bother.
You've had some great matches with John over the years. Does one stand out for you?
We've had so many good games that it's hard to really pick one out. But all I do know is that you're always in for a tough game, because he never seems to play a wrong shot. So you kind of have to play well to beat him. And whereas some of the other players, they kind of just miss balls and you just pop them after they miss them. But with John, he's a class act, so you don't get that luxury.
What is it about this tour? We've talked about this record, phenomenal. Last 3 finals, you haven't dropped a frame. Amazing form.
I think Barry Hearn must have been having a word with all the players. Let Ronnie win. I don't know, just a bit of luck.
And I guess because it's one night, you'd have to stay away from home for a long time. That favours you, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know. What are you saying? I don't like being...
Well, you like being at home, don't you?
My home life's not very good or something?
No, you can go.
No, listen, I just come here, and maybe my attention span is probably not as good as most players, so to maybe just come here for a night is... maybe I can concentrate a little bit easier, whereas some of the players seem to have that much better concentration and focus, if you like, and... so maybe it does help me in that way, but you still, I don't know. That's it.
And what would it mean to you to win this title for a 7th time and a 4th year on the bounce?
Well, it just means it'd be good, wouldn't it? I suppose it'd be good just to win it.
Laid back as ever, ladies and gentlemen, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Commentators once again, Mike Hallett and Phil Yates.
Cheers, Dave. Just to underline O'Sullivan's record in this tournament, he was very sort of self-deprecating there, played it down, but he boasts a 23-match unbeaten run in the Premier League. That encompasses 17 wins and 6 draws. He hasn't lost since January 2005 in Colchester. John Higgins, well, a whole new ball game for him. He won't take a lengthy amount of time to get used to this 25-second shot clock, but I'd be surprised if he got used to it straight away.
Expecting big things from these two lads. We certainly saw that in the first match with Jimmy and Ding Junhui.
Well, White was the last person to beat Ronnie O'Sullivan in this tournament, 4-2 at the Charter Hall in Colchester. As I said, 23 matches ago. Daunting prospect for Higgins.
Well, came right across that one. Doesn't look too bad.
The shot clock counting down. O'Sullivan might need a timeout with what would be his second shot of the match. Good thinking, he didn't want to waste one that early, Mike.
Indeed, just putting the white into the pack. Just, John, just asking our referee Paul Collier if it's a touching ball.
Touching ball.
It was touching, so John able to put the white close, well, as close as he could to that top cushion. Ronnie just, oh, has he made the plant here? Oh, that's a bonus. And he got the white to the top cushion as intended.
Only worth 1 point, mind you.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
The 44th meeting between these two in professional tournaments. O'Sullivan leads 24-17 in their head-to-heads. A couple of draws included in that in this very event. Their Premier League record, well, 9 meetings, O'Sullivan 6 wins, Higgins 1, and the 2 draws I've just mentioned.
Taking this red onto the green pocket. Well, he was hoping to develop pink or black. It was a big pocket with the other red there. Needed that red to come off the side cushion first, though. John looking at this red to the green pocket now. He's got to do something with the white here to get on a colour. This has to be cued well. Well played. Cracking shot.
1.
Choices here, brown or blue. I think it might be blue to the centre. Previous shot that Ronnie played actually nudged the pink away from the side cushion, so that's another high value colour available.
6.
I think there's a little bit tongue-in-cheek at the top of the show there, don't you, Phil?
Seven.
Just never know what he's going to say, or indeed do.
Didn't intend to cannon into the yellow, but he still got the red to the right centre. But he was hoping to be on an easier red than this. Pink goes on to the black
13.
spot. Now, will John attempt this red to the right centre? There's the red, it's not easy. And if he misses, he could leave everything on. That's why he's playing this one. He could be taking this on to the centre pocket. This is an acute angle. I think he's missed that.
John Higgins, 13.
Yes, until the player is used to this shot clock, there's always the spectre of the time draining down. And from past experience, we've seen, Mike, that newcomers to the tournament sometimes feel a little intimidated when they don't know where they stand in terms of that time. I think Higgins might have been a little rushed on the shot to the middle, which was extremely difficult.
This man doesn't have any problems though with it. Cracking red to start with.
4.
And 2 shots, and on, I should say, perfectly on this red for the pink.
Five.
Pulled out of the Shanghai Masters, citing a bad back. Has played in 1 tournament so far this season, an invitation event in Hong Kong,
11.
the Euro Asia Challenge. Lost in the group phase there. Very short matches, only best of 3, so no real guide to form.
12.
But the event was won by Higgins, who beat James Wattenaar 5-4 in the final.
It was a lovely shot, just gliding past those reds for the one to the centre.
18.
Play on the blue this time. This is a great opportunity here for Ronnie to put the opening frame
19.
on the board.
$24. 25.
A little straight on the pink, might play on the one in the middle of the table to the right centre.
$31.
Looking at this one to the corner now. I think the one to the middle is favourite.
$32. $37.
Well, that's a
Heavy-handed,
caution.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, Phil, I was going to say, ever done that one by a mile. Will he play the double on the black? He's looking at the green. Might take it on. Well, he's got a massive kick there. He tried to float the green in, but
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
you could hear
38.
the heavy contact.
Yes, and when you get that kind of kick, the object ball invariably tends to straighten up. It did so in the extreme. The cue ball, though, is cleaned in the player's time, and that's why Higgins cut it fine, in both senses of the word.
Might just play it, stand up for the red here. There's one available to the right corner. Well, you can also see the left hand one of the 4 is available to this corner pocket also.
$8.
In fact, the left hand one, the one nearest the pink spot, will also go to the left corner. So either way, they'll be opening up the other 2 reds. Well, he wants the right hand one of those 3 if possible. He's gone the other way. He's under hit that by a long way. Still got the red on. Oh, well, I think it's on.
14.
Yes, it's okay, but needed that cue ball to be up the table another 2 or 3 inches. I'll say a long way, but it's okay. Well, there's the result on the bad positional shot.
John Higgins, 14.
At least no pot is left. Well, the scrappiest frame of the evening so far.
Trying to get the cue ball in behind the green, not quite. He's covered the other 2 reds, but this one near the top cushion, John can see. Well, he needs to cover this red. I think he has done with the blue. No, perhaps not. No, Ronnie's playing the one on the right-hand side of the 2, actually. With safety in mind. But he's left the one to the left corner, I think. Well, John has not found his range yet.
One.
Yes, and the one thing you want to avoid in snooker is doubt in a player's mind. That can be destructive, and I think at the moment there might be a little doubt as to how he stands in terms of that shot clock. He will work it out, they all do. It's just a matter of when.
6.
Not too, as we look at John, not too sure what Ronnie was playing there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
Now, is this red cuttable to the middle? I don't think so. Looks very thin. John might just play a safety off it, but he could be going for this. No. He's overhit it though. He's left it on.
Super pot from O'Sullivan. Also, great control of the cue ball. 19 points to the good. So pink, red, any colour, and Higgins will need snookers.
Seven.
Could just drop this in, play on the pink to the right centre. And he needs the pink. This frame ball. Made sure, wasn't interested in the yellow, didn't have the angle to get down there either. So 32 the difference, 27
14.
on the table. I think John will play on for a couple of minutes here. You
Ronnie
know, if he gets
O'Sullivan,
one
14.
snooker, the pressure goes back onto Ronnie. He's got to get out of this one first. Top cushion. Oh, 2 cushions. Settle for that.
And if he does eventually get the chance, Mike, there's a possibility that Higgins could take yellow, green and brown. One snooker on the blue would enable him to force a respotted black. It's all a big if, though.
Two cushions. Well, you might
Foul.
concede here.
4 and the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
In the Jimmy White Ding Junhui match, every frame featured at least a 60 break. No sizable contributions there, but O'Sullivan won't mind. He leads 1-0. Welcome back to Sussex, Haywards Heath to be precise, and the opening matches in the partybets.com 2007 Premier League Snooker. Jimmy White and Ding Junhui played out a very impressive 3-all draw. Now Ronnie O'Sullivan has drawn first blood against John Higgins.
The second frame, John Higgins to break.
Only 4 months since he recaptured the world title, Mike. I was really pleased he did so. No disrespect to Mark Selby, who's a fine player and who's going to win tournaments in the future, but it was good to see Higgins withstand the pressure he was put under in the last 4 frames there and come through with flying colours in the end.
Indeed. And I think, as you said, I think everybody was hoping that John was going to win that because he is such a wonderful man, wonderful player, and he'll be a great ambassador for our game in the 12 months to come as world champion.
And just to clear up one misconception about that World Championship final, because it finished so late, people assumed that it was slow snooker. It wasn't. The problem was they didn't play their allotted frames in the 3rd session, the afternoon session, and consequently, because of the late start to the concluding session, it meant that we burned midnight oil for the 2nd year in succession.
1.
A little short of pace on that one. I'm not sure if he can stay on the black here. Oh, he's played him a check side, he's played
5.
it perfectly. What a great shot.
$12. 13.
Chance to go into the bunch here, should he so desire. This time electing to play just on the last easily accessible loose red.
20. 21.
Just a glancing blow, the white's gone away from them, wanted to hit them thicker.
28.
Yes, it's an extra degree of difficulty splitting up the pack when you take the cue ball off the top cushion.
Just a safety shot.
John Higgins, 28.
Perfect speed. It's got to be said, Phil, this table is playing superbly.
Dave Clark was saying at the start of the match that life is good for John Higgins. Of course it is. He's world champion, as we've asserted, and also world number 1 and provisional world number 1. Only 5 players have lost that top spot and regained it. Ray Reardon, Stephen Hendry, Mark Williams, Ronnie O'Sullivan, and now John Higgins, who's just used his first timeout.
Not surprising, after that fellow there played a cracking safety shot. Well, it's a tricky one, this. I think he's going for a glancing blow here off 2 cushions. Oh, he missed it by a fraction.
And a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
Well, in one sense, he's been very fortunate there to leave the cue ball so close to the blue. had that not been the case, O'Sullivan would have targeted an easily potable red. As it is, asks referee Paul Collier to replace the balls. That means pink and white and marginally the blue.
Well, you can see the right-hand side of the pack. I think he's going this way again. That's the angle. He wants to just contact that red and send the white down the table. That quarter ball would be perfect. Ooh, he's caught the pink again.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
Well, again, I think that will go back. Don't think Ronnie's interested in anything there. He can't go this way this time because he must hit a red. There is a red on here. He can hit a red there, and it's 3 strikes and you're out. If he doesn't hit a red here, he loses the frame. That's the one he'll be hitting. Mind you, from that angle, it doesn't look like he can hit both sides, Phil. He must be able to hit both sides of that red.
The pink's in the wrong place because you could have clipped that one, couldn't you?
Yeah, the pink is in the wrong place. It should have been a little bit further to the left, that's it. But I don't know, that you must be able to hit both sides of the red.
Okay, Ronnie.
But he has been warned, he'll have to hit a red this time. Well, he didn't mess about with those, did he? I think he ran out of ideas there.
What a fluke, though. What a fluke.
Apologies, I missed the pot.
That was like one of yours, Mike.
A long time, it's easy, Tiger, a long time ago.
Five. Six.
There will be no guilt felt, though, at this level. All donations gratefully accepted.
Well, the black having to go nearest its own spot as possible towards the top cushion without touching the red.
13.
We'll have to play on the pink now.
14.
And the way the balls are positioned, this is a good lead now.
20.
And the break of 20 came from this. How many balls in simultaneous motion? Double figures, maybe. Only one counted, though, the one to the middle, and he was off and running.
21.
Might play on the red nearest the black here, actually, left of the black. He's got the one to the right corner as well. I think the black goes, actually, so he can nudge that red away from
26.
the black spot, leave himself on the angle, a good angle on the black here to nudge that red away. Well, he's gone the other side. That surprised me.
27.
I thought he might have left that cue ball low there, unless that red goes. He's played on the left-hand one. He'll be able to move it this time. He's going to have to pop this one, screw back off
34.
the other red. This is not guaranteed position. Will he play on the black or will he play on the pink? Might be able to avoid those, actually. He's just nudged them. That's okay. Well played.
35.
51 points. The lead is increased to blue and one more red. That would leave him at 57, and he'd still need one more colour.
$40.
Well, Mike, there's no point having good fortune if you don't make the most of it.
Absolutely. Could have done a little bit more on the cue ball there. He might not play the pot, actually.
44.
Send the red up the table, white where the red is. I think he, well, 60 points the lead, 59 on the table. I think he'll play safe here. He's already looking where he wants to leave the cue ball, so he's sending the red around the table.
John Higgins, 44.
Well, a good 44 is not quite there yet in this frame. Ronnie requires a snooker.
Could have been worse in many respects. For Higgins, it's all about remaining patient.
Oh, does this red pass the black? Oof, it was close. Now, does John tap this red on into the right centre pocket? Can play it in such a way to leave the one he snookered on the other red. No, just making sure he doesn't leave that red on.
That should be the end of frame indeed. O'Sullivan signals it by conceding. Well, you know, skill and luck combined is an irresistible combination. O'Sullivan's found that to his cost in frame 2. It's one apiece.
Throw off to the first ever World 2020, live from South Africa.
The ICC World 2020 in association with Marston starts Tuesday 4:30 with South Africa v West Indies, Sky Sports 1. There are 21 qualifying matches in the partybets.com Premier League Snooker of 2007. Tonight in Haywards Heath, we've got the first two of them. Jimmy White and Ding Junhui have already battled away to a 3-all draw. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan 1, John Higgins 1 in match number 2.
Frame 3, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
O'Sullivan were to retain the trophy again, Mike, it would be history-making, because it would mean it was his 7th win in total in this tournament, one more than Stephen Hendry.
Yeah, it would be incredible, as that red was from John Higgins. Cracking pot. Okay, nice cannon on the second red to finish on the black, but it deserved it.
Higgins also has his name on this particular piece of silverware. He won it in 1999.
Red to the left centre.
8.
He's taking this one instead, screw back for the black. He's gone near
9.
that side cushion. That's not what he wanted.
Yes, an extremely tough pot, and even if he gets it, it's hard to imagine where the position's coming from, Mike.
Possible red to the right centre, but this is not easy. Not at that pace. Cracking pot. He's played on the red nearest the blue. What a pot that was. Well, one good pot here. It's done off the side cushion.
16.
Back in good position. Oh, well shot.
17.
Had to just play for a zone off the black and rely on raw potting.
Off the brown, into the pack. Has he been lucky? I think the white might have stuck.
$21.
Well, he's okay. He can get through to this one. Finished perfect.
Yes, Mike, it doesn't matter how many titles you've won, how much money you've banked over the course of your career. When you play that kind of shot into the pack off one of the ball killers, you have to rely on Dame Fortune smiling down.
$29.
Actually, I think it's fair to say, Mike, that at this highest of high levels, the likes of Higgins,
30.
O'Sullivan, Hendry, the game's great break builders, Deng Junhui has to be included in that category as well. If they would want to select one piece of luck they could get, it would be when they go into the pack, they break benevolently.
Well, he won't be too happy with that shot. Played full ball on that red. Leave himself the one to the left corner. I think he's still got one to the yellow pocket hit.
John Higgins, 37.
Yes, it was the previous positional shot from the black that let him down there. That's a pretty good shot from Ronnie. Making John think about this one.
Just in the nick of time.
Send the red around the table.
Not as intended, but I think he'll settle for it. Excellent from O'Sullivan. He's got a tremendous safety game when he chooses to use it.
Caught the second red, but not too bad. Having said that, that red is on. This table's been very responsive this evening, Phil.
Well, conditions have been excellent, and I think that was reflected in all of those sizable breaks in the first match. No half century in this one yet.
4.
I think, though, that's down more to the fact that the balls have generally run much more awkwardly.
5.
Right, it's got the angle on the black here to the middle. And I think he can stay on this red near the top cushion. Might be cannon into the one on the right hand cushion there. Just kind of touched too far on this black for comfort, but he should be able. He might come off 2 cushions into the bunch. Oh, he's missed them. He's missed them. That's a bad shot.
Yes, I think he was a little unlucky on the previous red. Seemed to have rather a fierce bounce off the top cushion, and that's why he wasn't ideal on the black. And we all know that position is a knock-on effect.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 12.
That's not bad though. Excellent return from John. Wow, that also a great shot. Possible plant to the left corner, shot to nothing, but the reds, well, 5 or 6 inches apart. Yeah, bonus if it goes in. Safety intended. He's missed the blue. Now, is this white in behind the yellow? If not, he's left the red on to the centre. The red's come up the table. That's a loose one from John Higgins.
And this has to go down as O'Sullivan's best scoring window thus far.
Eight. Nine.
We're just looking at O'Sullivan's
16.
opening fixtures in this PartyBets.com Premier League, and wow, he's been thrown in at the deep end. He's got Higgins, of course, tonight. Then next week at Great Malvern, he plays Stephen Hendry, the 7 times world champion. And his next engagement is the Plymouth Pavilions at the end of September, when his opponent is Ding Junhui.
22.
packed audience here, thoroughly enjoying
23.
themselves.
I suppose in some ways, Phil, that's not too bad with Ronnie's fixtures, because he'll be looking possibly for 2 wins and a draw out of those 3, which sets himself up strongly for the rest of the campaign.
30.
Yes, make this a regular Thursday fixture. Premier
31.
League Snooker on Sky Sports every Thursday right through September, also on October 4 and 11, and we're back after a week's break on the 25th. The finals, by the way, in Aberdeen on December 1 and 2.
37. 38.
And I think, Mike, it's a fair bet that both Higgins and O'Sullivan will be involved in those semi-final playoffs.
Who knows?
$44.
That's the highest break of the match so far. O'Sullivan looking at the scoreboard, he needs pink, red and a colour.
Perfect.
51. 52.
Effortless cue power.
54. 56. 59. 63.
Just thinking, things beginning to warm up.
Well, figuratively, they've been
68.
warm enough, literally, all day.
$68 and the frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Miles away from his final part, but the job had already been completed. And with some panache, O'Sullivan's 68 break, he regains the lead, this time at 2-1.
Complete with xylitol helps fight the plaque you can't see.
Paper. Rock.
Give your brain a daily workout with new More Brain Training, only on Nintendo DS.
Start again.
On the car go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the car go round and round all through the town. The hill descent control goes down nice and slow, nice and slow. The hill descent control goes nice and slow all through the town.
Introducing the all-new, all-terrain XC70 from Volvo.
It's the start of the PartyBets.com Premier League Snooker season. Jimmy White and Ding Chunwei got us off to a blockbusting opening, 3 frames each. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the defending champion, and looking to win this title for the 4th season in succession, he leads John Higgins 2-1.
The 4th frame, John Higgins to break.
It's amazing how these 2 players with very different characters and backgrounds, how their careers have mirrored each other. Both turned professional in the early 90s.
And they both won 18 world ranking events each. Higgins, £4.4 million in career prize money. O'Sullivan, just over the 5 million mark.
9.
And their career centuries are pretty impressive as well. 481 for O'Sullivan, 359 for Higgins. I suppose you could say, Mike, that if you bring Mark Williams into the equation, Williams, Higgins
15.
and O'Sullivan have been the most successful players of the 21st century.
16.
A pretty new century, admittedly, but over the last 7 or 8 years or so, these have been the top dogs.
$23. 24.
Rice smile there again because of the ferocity of the bounce off the side cushion. Even though Sullivan doesn't have quite that amount of cue power.
Could have done with a little bit more angle on this black. He's got to come off the top cushion with power here to try and get into them. Oh, he's found one. Obviously the red on the left hand side there will go.
39. $40.
Needed a bit more angle on the blue, but I think the left hand red will go. In fact, the one at the top of the pack might go as well, so he's okay. Well, this will definitely split them. He'll pop this one in, screw back for the blue again. These reds could go everywhere with this one.
45.
Back for one of the bolt colours and just look at the reds. Great
46.
shot. No effort.
$49. 50.
Not good.
57.
Actually, I think the red still goes. Plenty of room. Great recovery.
58.
Over the course of the last 3 Premier League seasons, O'Sullivan has made so many more century breaks than anyone else, 19 in total.
66.
Every opportunity for this to be number 20. And a possible 140 break, which would displace Dings as the highest of the tournament.
73. 74.
Remember, we were saying a little earlier that O'Sullivan had made the highest breaks of the 3 previous seasons, 134, 136 and 124.
81. 82.
Well, the frame's gone west as far as Higgins is concerned.
89. 90.
What this means, Mike, is that O'Sullivan's unbeaten run in the Premier League will be extended
97.
to 24 matches.
98.
Guaranteed at least a draw, guaranteed at least 1 point in this match. John Higgins has it all to do. And look at that, 5 minutes 47.
103. 104.
Wonderful stuff.
110. 112. 115. 119.
Look at that.
124.
Come on then, Ronnie, pop this at pace, in and out of bulk with the cue ball onto the black. Oh, what a pity. This is what the crowd have come to see. First, White and Ding served up a snooker feast, and now O'Sullivan has put another century break on this Haywards Heath menu. He leads 3-1, and that unbeaten run in the Premier League is intact.
And breaking news just in, officials have announced a second Premier League.
This September, it's a whole new ball game. Legends.
Players making a comeback. Hullet, Merson, Wilkins and Raffanelli.
Celebrities.
Clubs are still locked in negotiations for a certain member of the British rock scene.
Fans.
And Arsenal have just signed an ordinary member of the public.
Premier League All-Stars. The draw, Sunday 16th of September. Kick-off, Sunday 23rd of September. Sky One.
Those who thought it might take a while to get into the groove for these players in the 2007 Premier League had better think again. White and Ding Shunhui out of the traps, playing superb snooker. O'Sullivan's doing the same against John Higgins. He leads 3-1. At worst, he will get a draw, but I'm sure he's targeting maximum
The
points.
fifth frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Bit short of pace, he's left this red onto the left centre.
Foul.
Wow.
Ronnie
it's
O'Sullivan
incredible.
4.
If you wanted to play that billiard shot, you couldn't play it.
Well, that's the worst possible result. Leaving the red over the middle pocket was bad enough, but O'Sullivan has now got the cue ball in hand.
One.
Surprised he played it that way, Phil. Why didn't he put the white next to the green so it was straight on the red, hole for the blue? Now he's dropped short on the blue here. We'll have to take the cue ball in out of hook. No problem. And he'll be perfectly on the black after this shot. I take it back.
6. 7. 14.
Looking to open a few here. Perfect.
15.
When he's not with it, and we all know what I'm talking about with O'Sullivan, when he's not
22.
involved in the game as he should be, he can miss anything. But when he's in this kind of disciplined mood, you can't see him missing anything.
23.
And no one has got better positional instinct.
He's been unlucky there. I don't think he's on a red. Looking to split a few
30.
more, but I don't think there's anything there.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 30.
Well, only 30. He knows it should have been more, but he was a little unfortunate there. Going into the bunch of reds like he did, would have expected to be on one.
Yes, Higgins being frozen out. Over 200 points scored by O'Sullivan without reply. And that...
Time out.
Yes, that spell of domination began in the third frame. Here we are in the fifth. Higgins calls a timeout, and why not really? He's only used the 2. Remember, 5 allowable, 3 in any one frame.
Well, he gave himself the time, and just look at the shot he's played. Excellent. And again. Oh, this needs a thin contact. Too thin.
Foul and a miss.
Well, a miss called, but this red is on for John. He might not take it. Good pot. Now then, what can John make of this?
1.
Played that well.
4.
I'd like to have been straight on this red to get on the black. Might have to play on the pink here. Oh, that's careless.
John Higgins, 4.
I'll tell you what, Phil. I think in the end there, when John got down, he didn't know what to do with it. Possibly.
1.
I think he might have done the frame. And of course, the match as well.
8. 9. 16. 17.
Just had an inkling before the start tonight that Higgins might just find it a little difficult to immediately get used to this 25-second shot clock. It's happened to them all when it was originally introduced. Even the likes
23.
of O'Sullivan was a little bamboozled by it. Same went for
24.
Stephen Hendry. I think the player who it affected most was Stephen Maguire. He's not a slow player by any means, but it just seemed to affect his whole rhythm. Higgins will get into the swing of things, but it's hard
30.
to make a trial run against someone as good as O'Sullivan.
I'm not sure if you got a heavy contact there.
Yeah, O'Sullivan,
or
30.
just a bad misjudgment on the angle. I'm sure John Higgins happy to be back at the table.
Very much so. Plenty on for him to recover this frame. But those 4 reds close to the side cushion are not in his favour.
Good angle from the black here, though, to split them if he wishes. You'll be looking to nudge these 3 reds there. Only took one of them.
8.
It's going with a cross double. Well played. Nicely held to the pink. Took a slight risk there. He'd be leaving Ronnie that red down the cushion. Excellent double.
And in the space of a couple of shots, Mike, the table looks suddenly much more open.
Indeed.
15. 16.
That could be the awkward one, though. I think he's got some angles getting behind the one nearest the pocket.
22. 23.
Don't think he's got the angle to get him behind this one on the side cushion and go down for the one nearest the yellow. Well, he's gone for the other one. Well, that could have been better. He took a slight risk there. It was easy to play on the other red, but
30.
decided to try and get on the more difficult one. Now he's out of position. Wanted to get right in behind that red, nudge it into the middle of the table, possibly for the middle pocket. This is not easy. This is missable. He's missed it. But he's covered it with the pink. Having said that, the other red is on.
Yes, it is, Mike, but with the colours positioned as they are, this is a pressure shot.
If this goes in, this frame is over. Didn't fancy Ronnie to miss that. Not the way he's been clearing. That was a pity for John Higgins there. Just wanted to get onto that red. He left himself awkward. Could have played on the easy one. It's got to be said, Phil, that Ronnie has definitely put him under pressure here this evening. And it's Ronnie that's looked the sharper of the two.
5. 6.
Unlike their last meeting in the World Championship quarter-final. And of course, Higgins prevailed 13-7. On that occasion,
10.
O'Sullivan was decidedly subdued.
12. $15.
I'm just thinking, Phil, we know that 6 frames, that all frames count, don't they, for and against?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 19, and the frame.
It's his first appearance in this tournament for 4 years, John Higgins. And tonight, I'm afraid it's been something of a re-baptism of fire. O'Sullivan leads by 4 frames to 1. Victory is assured.
The new Smoky Blue Angus, 100% flame grilled certified Aberdeen Angus beef with applewood smoked bacon and creamy blue cheese flavoured mayo. A posh burger for people who aren't posh, only at BK.
さあ挑戦者の番だ。エースのスピードとダイヤモンドの5ヒット。合計で21だ。ウィンドンキー。Let's play.
Shock horror. Ronnie O'Sullivan plays superb snooker in the Premier League. It seems to be the norm over the last few seasons. Tonight he leads John Higgins 4-1, an unassailable lead that. Earlier, Jimmy White and Ding Junhui played out a high-quality 3-all draw. I'll tell you what, Mike, if O'Sullivan can win this frame,
John Higgins
even though it's very early days in the qualifying process, he would have a very sturdy platform to go through to the semi-finals.
He certainly will. He's looked very good this evening.
1.
Kicked in round about second and third frame. First couple a little bit scrappy.
Yes, he's looked good, and I think more to the point, he's looked interested. The likes of John Higgins, Ding Junhui, Stephen Hendry and a few others can beat Ronnie O'Sullivan. But the person who's beaten him most often is himself.
6.
Not the case this evening.
$13. 14. 20.
Managed to nudge in the red out in the pack, and this is looking ominous for John Higgins. Ooh, just as we say that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 20.
Why do we say it, Phil?
Wants to bite his tip off, he does that on a regular basis, and sometimes at moments when he shouldn't.
Well, I've been watching him actually the last few shots, and he has been looking at the tip. Perhaps it's a little bit on the soft side. Might be a new one. He's played reasonably well with it here this evening. But sometimes on these fast clocks, when you're just applying side
6
and things like that, it just throws the cue ball off.
7.
That's quite a bit on there as well, so it could possibly be a new tip. Just Bennington trying to bet the tip in, I should say. That's a great shot from John Higgins. Woo, hang on, hang on.
Foul.
Oh, unlucky. He never
John
rains
Higgins
it pours.
7, Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
Well, he had that outrageous fluke from which he made the 44 break to win frame 2. That, though, was outrageously unfortunate.
1.
O'Sullivan beat Higgins 6-2 in the Premier League of 2002.
7.
They also met in the final of that event. O'Sullivan won 9-4. And this looks like being another sound beating.
14. 15.
'The bookmakers installed O'Sullivan as the short-priced favourite to win this tournament.
22.
And I think we've tonight seen why they made that decision.
He's looked very comfortable. John really hasn't got himself into this match.
30. 31.
He's played well, O'Sullivan, but, you know, you have to give credit where credit's
38.
due. In that first match, the snooker produced by both Ding and Jimmy White,
39.
for me, was even better.
44.
Here we are in frame 6, and look at that pot success rate for O'Sullivan, 97%.
50. 51.
Does have the angle to nudge the red. Might play him behind it. Can't make the century, of course.
55.
Was guaranteed himself a good pay day this evening. £5,000.
56.
And this crowd has been thoroughly entertained here this evening with these 4 players.
63. 65. 68.
Well, Ronnie's given notice here, Phil. He intends to hang on to
72.
this title.
77.
Tonight's first match lasted 58 minutes. This one is going to be a 63-minute sprint. John Higgins is the world champion, but Ronnie O'Sullivan is the Premier League champion, and he wants it to remain that way. He wins commandingly by 5 frames to 1.
Well, terrific night of snooker here in Haywards Heath. Confirmation of the 5-1 winning margin there for Ronnie O'Sullivan over John Higgins, and Jimmy White and Ding Junhui, a very, very entertaining 3-3 draw. Table looks like this. Ronnie O'Sullivan, top of the pile so far from Ding Junhui, Jimmy White, and then John Higgins. Very, very entertaining. It was a pleasure watching you there, Ronnie.
Thank you.
How happy were you with the performance and the way you took on that match?
I mean, beat John Higgins, like I said before the game, you have to play well. It doesn't give you any free chances, so, you know, and, you know, I just got lucky tonight, maybe.
Not with a 5-1 scoreline.
Well, you can get lucky.
24 matches unbeaten in the Premier League now. That's some record.
I've lost one, though, so, you know, it's not unbeaten, but it's kind of, you know, it's not completely unbeaten. But
the format really suits you, and the speed of the game when it's just 6 frames and you have the shot clock as well, just it fits your game perfectly, doesn't it?
Well, it kind of, you know, we all know what to play. We've been playing the game long enough, so, you know, I think it's unnecessary that, you know, certain players take so long, but I think they end up doing their own heads in sometimes. So this kind of just lets you just play, you know, and just, you know, if you get on a roll, you can do well, but, you know, it suits me because, you know, everyone just has to play from instinct, and I suppose a lot of the other players like to take their time a bit more.
It's been an entertaining night, ladies and gentlemen. Ronnie O'Sullivan. Well, if you've just joined us, didn't see the first match of the evening, it was a little classic. Ding Junhui against Jimmy White. Jimmy White got out of the blocks with an 86 break. We can join it in frame number 2. Ding Junhui at the table.